Hey everybody, and welcome to the second edition of the Online Cam Summit. My name is Thomas Gavelen, and I'm going to be your host through this whole series. So the Online Cam Summit is all about the cam industry. It's all about independent models, it's all about studio models, and it's all about studio owners or studio management, everything to run a successful studio. We have a bunch of awesome people on here, and I can't wait to jump into this session. But before we can do that, let's give a big thank you for today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is StripChat. StripChat is one of the fastest growing cam platforms in our industry. It's a premium platform that offers up to 60% revenue share. If you sign up to StripChat today, you're offered a 14-day promo boost on their platform. And to top it up, StripChat is giving away $16,000 in contest money every month. StripChat is a platform that fits girls, men, trans, and couples. And don't forget to check out the digital goodie bag for a special offer from StripChat. Thank you again, StripChat, for sponsoring this day. Let's jump into this session. And we are back. And in this session, we're going to talk to Lindsey Banks. Now, Lindsey Banks had a fantastic year this year, 2018. I've seen her in multiple offline shows, if we can call them that, trade shows out there. She's a brand ambassador for companies like Flirt for Free and Pornhub, and she also has her own fleshlight, which I think is just a great accomplishment as a cam model. You know, then you become a cam star. She's also talking about the Cammunity and the Camgirltakeover, which is a pretty interesting project where many more models should be involved. So in this session, you're going to take away a lot of good information, just like how you can get your own brand deals, for example, what it takes to do that, how to approach brands and give them value, how much time you should spend on social media for all of this. You know, it's a very important element in at least Lindsey Banks' career. And how to make this cam girl experience a career and not just a job. So a lot of good information in this session here. Let's jump in. Okay, Lindsey, thank you so much for being part of this session of the Online Cam Summit.
Thanks for having me. Welcome to my office.
Thank you. It looks amazing. So this is actually where you are camming from. We are in your office right now.
I mean, I cam in different areas, but right now this is the main little hub.
This is the main hub. Awesome. Before we get into a lot of things that we're going to learn from you today, let's get to know you a little bit for the people that don't know you. When did you start with camming, and what kind of attracted you into this industry?
So how I started camming was through, it was a long, years ago. Yeah. So things have changed, I guess, with websites and what they're allowed to promote, I guess. And it was just an ad online that I stumbled across with somebody, and I had no idea what it was. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I just knew that I needed money and I needed it then. Yeah. So I don't know. It just happened so like in a transition that I didn't even know what was going on at the time until later when I reflect back and I'm like, oh my gosh, like.
Yeah, you're constantly learning. What you're getting.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I guess learning from different people and then learning from yourself, because when it comes to camming, it's very isolated, an isolating job as a performer, a cam performer.
That's an independent model for sure, right? You have studio models and independent, but you're kind of on your own. You're doing this yourself, and that's your thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to have a good people and teams and friends that will support and really kind of guide you with things that you may not know. My friend Becky, she helps me a lot with that. Yeah. And my friend Chantal, she's really great as well. And I don't know, it's about finding the right people that kind of mold into you, because there's been trial and errors, like working with a studio or people that I learned a lot from, and I know the kind of people that I do not want to work with, and the people that I do want to work with, there's a certain kind of feeling or vibe that I get, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah. So what do you find the most appealing then to being a cam model?
One of the most appealing things I think is being able to create your own schedule, your own lifestyle. Once you've, kind of already honed how you do it and you're kind of successful, you get to choose your schedule. If there's anything that conflicts, like you're able to kind of mold that for yourself, mold what you want. And a lot of girls don't know that though, because they will listen a lot to, for example, studios or other friends that they think that they can do the same thing and be as successful, when really it's about an individual and what they're comfortable with. Yes, it could be similar and you can learn a lot from them, but you learn a lot from yourself as well. And a lot of people don't know that, yes, it's a job, but it can also be a career if you treat it that way and build yourself that way.
Let's talk about this logo that you have on your shirt. I mean, you're working for the Flirt for Free platform, right? So, yes. So why did you choose this platform then over like all the other platforms out there? As an independent model, you can jump and find your home, but you have actually found your home, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, there's all different kinds of camming sites, new ones that come and go, ones that have stayed and been for multiple years. I'm exclusive with Flirt for Free, but I think something that really drew me and kept me was toward the beginning of my career. There was a Flirt for Free Summit, and it was ever since that interaction, the real interaction, they were actually trying to build the community and make sure that the models were having a great time. It was such a great experience that they had me hooked since then. And they have asked me to do things for them. I think being a reliable model helps because then they keep coming back to you. And I think Flirt is kind of more select. Am I allowed to say that? Like, they're a little selective because I feel like if your business is important to you, you're going to also look into the kind of people that you want to represent you. And that really matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned one of these summits they have. I mean, I think it's once a year or twice a year, at least once a year. And they bring you to this beautiful location and you are there gathering with a bunch of other models and training and fun. Can we say that?
More fun, but there is a slight training. They have a seminar, I think, maybe two. I think they're trying to, last time it was one and it was just a big one. So it was like all of it, but they always try to do things a little differently every year to like kind of like self-criticism. Constructive criticism. So they try to make it better so that we can also throw in the training or the knowledge on what's going on with the company. They really try at Flirt Summits specifically to make you more involved with Flirt for Free, since it's solely Flirt for Free based.
It sounds like I've seen only pictures. So hopefully one day, if I'm starting my own cam career, I will jump on.
Come to Summit! Oh my God. So come to Summit?
Maybe. I don't know. We need to talk to them. We will talk to them. But later, I mean, you started your career with Flirt for Free and later you become this ambassador from them. How did that happen? And I mean, what does it mean for you as a model to be ambassador for them?
Well, how it happened, I think it was gradually. They could see the different things that I offer. I don't know, my personality, how much I work. The first 2 years of my career were like very okay, I maybe even 3 years. I really tried. I was working all the time. I was online all the time. And I don't know. I think getting to know the people and attending events, really attending events and not necessarily being punctual, but wanting to take something from them and learn from them, build on that, and investing myself with just Flirt for Free. I think it mattered for them, I guess, to become exclusive. Scattering yourself with there's girls that do multi-platforms and they work with several different sites. Companies are kind of wanting to look for girls that will represent them in a good light. If they're going to ask you to be exclusive, you have to really work on being exclusive with one site. So as far as branding goes, you have to consider companies that are not going to be conflicting with each other. And I think just how you represent yourself at shows in person, and not just around them, but around other people as well.
Yeah. No, because you are actually like networking and everything. I mean, you get to know so many people this year alone, I will believe. Like, this is the first year I've seen you in a lot of shows.
You get to know new people at these shows all the time, but there's always those constant people, because I see you all the time, especially this last year, I've seen you so much.
Yeah.
But that's how you build your connections and your network. Yes, I would say like a team, or not really a team, but a network for sure.
But that's also valuable for you as a person, but it's also valuable for other brands. I mean, you're also an ambassador for brands like Pornhub, and as far as I know, if I'm not mistaken, you got your own flashlight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is also a brand. So I mean, how do you work together with all of this?
How crazy! Like, you're saying that, and it's just like still a little mind blowing. Like, oh yeah, I do. I mean,
I did some research.
How that happened? I mean, personally, meeting these people and being vocal, and people listen and people watch and they see, because there is always going to be like different people and growth within the industry. When you like express what your business is, that you truly mean it and stuff, like I don't know, and sometimes maybe it's just like meeting somebody and you just it just meshes together. Like, I think with Pornhub, like, I recently more so started being an ambassador or doing like social media things, whatever, with Pornhub, and it just like all fit in so well, because even with like Kiru or with Fleshlight, that was before Pornhub, and it was a like Fleshlight and Flirt for Free had some kind of contract that when they chose like the top models to be Fleshlight girls.
Yeah.
And I happened to have that rare opportunity, because it was only one time that they really offered that during Flirt of the Year. I was like 2 years in, and that timing was crazy. And then I think it gave me credibility. You know, it's a very high profile company for sex toys.
I don't think there is that many cam models that have that. I mean, that's normally like a porn star thing, right?
There's 5 female cam stars, and there's 5 or 7 of Flirt for Free cam stars that are on the Flesh Jack.
Okay.
So it was like very exclusive. I mean, that's like that was like the coin of even being a cam star. Like, that's where I'm like, no, I'm a cam star, because it's like porn star, but it's camming. Like, and camming, it's so much broader than, like, there's a revolution going on with this industry when it comes to porn and camming. Like, it's very crazy.
Yeah. And there are so many, we also need to mention that there are so many opinions about this, you know, like what is webcamming, and that's of course individual for everybody. But, you know, some platforms say like we are like more glamour, you know, we don't touch porn at all, we're not part of that. And then you have, you know, all the way over to the freemium sites that are going crazy, like they're doing the Shatterbait and stuff like this. And then there is something in between. So it's not necessarily everything is porn. But,
I remember one time that I got a question. I was getting interviewed, and it was like, you know, somebody that believed that the porn industry and the cam industry should be completely separate. And I respected that, you know, there's somebody that wants to focus on the camming, because camming is so, like, I believe, like, very underrated right now. Was it like maybe 3 or 4 years ago when it really started booming, when people were trying to understand, like, how is this doing so well? It's just like on the rise.
Right.
And I was just like, there's so much from the porn industry and the camming that we can learn from each other. They're very different, but they're alike in ways that we can really build off of that from each other, whether you're a non-nude model all the way to a porn star. And everybody has like their different limits and stuff. And I just feel like camming, it's different.
It is different. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. I just wanted to ask you, like, since you are so lucky, I would say, like, you are a lucky person to have all of these brand deals and so, but do you have any tips on how other models can become ambassadors? Like, not necessarily for all the big brands, but like other ones, like, and get deals like you in this industry?
Well, I mean, I've been really fortunate, but I recommend like attending seminars when you go to these expos, because a lot of the seminars, like even that's underrated. Like I feel like if more people were attending and stuff, like I see individuals and I'm like, wow, like when I see a seminar room packed, I'm like, oh my gosh, like there's really people out here trying to learn about this. Like there's so much information from the people. That's already a good start at like, you have the drive and will to go and learn about this, and you have the opportunity to ask questions. I mean,
try to become a people that are like a spokesperson or on a panel, for example. You know, stick yourself out there and share your knowledge and your feelings about what we are working with here. But would you also say maybe that it's good to have a good base of, you know, followers and stuff like this, because it's the end customers we are looking for, or the members, let's call them members, because that's a term that everybody is using.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose so. Flirt for Free to me is a platform. And I feel like the real B2B, like the business aspect of it, is that the consumer, the member, let's say, is going directly to the model, to the performer. Yeah. It's a matter of, okay, well, what are these platforms going to do for us now? What can you do for me? What can you do for the camming community? What do you have to offer that would make me want to be exclusive with you, or to even work with you? Because once a company is tied to your name, or like, you know, within your career, it reflects with other business owners and people that have worked with, like, oh, okay, well, this is maybe they're not looking for a hustler girl, they're looking for a cam model or something different. So it really does. And if you stick with something more or whatever, like, you just get better at it. You'll just get better at it.
Oh, that's a good advice right there. So tell us about this Camgirl Takeover and what you call the Cammunity. The Cammunity. That's a good one.
Yeah, the Cam community. It's, Cammunity, but
I love that word.
Thanks. It's so funny because why not? I guess kind of credits me. Like sometimes I'll read it and I'm like, oh my God, because it's so funny. When I first used that term, it was on accident. It was on complete accident. I think it was like I accidentally typed in something wrong and it like clicked in my head, and I was like, we could just switch the O with an A and it's like our cam community. Like, yeah,
it works perfectly.
and it works. Because we really are a different community. I guess the Camgirl Takeover is something, it's still kind of on the low, and something we're still in the middle of. Like, we have so many ideas. We have so much we want to, like, we could even do with this Camgirl Takeover, because it's something we want to focus with every individual model. Because with camming, we're so different, and it's every cam girl's take. So whatever it is that they're taking over, what their take is on the community, we want them to vocalize that, to express it, because as I was saying earlier, like, it's an isolating job. Like, we want to build our community and make it a very positive one. And that's where you're going to start, with actually interacting with your other models. You learn from each other. You empathize. It's really crazy. And my friend Becky, she shares like her takes on her cam girl, what she does. She likes to do a lot of like, this is what you can do. Like, there's a lot of struggling models out there as far as money goes and stuff. So she's like, one of her posts was like, you can make this with under $30 or something. And it was like a completely something awesome that you could use in your camera room that would just make you money. Like, it was like a big old whiteboard, and I forgot, like, she has ideas all the time that she shares doing games. Like, and she's also like amazing with everything else. But I'm just saying, that's just an idea of what somebody else's take could be.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So this is like you guys have a website, you guys have a forum. Do you have something like this that people can go and find information?
We do. It's at Camgirl Take on Twitter, and then on everything else, it's Camgirl Takeover. I think you could go to camgirltakeover.com, and I'll double check and make sure, because you can. I tag them all the time. I'm always like hashtagging Camgirltakeover,
Yeah.
because that build, like it's really weird. And I'm telling you, like it's still on the low. Like it hasn't blown up or anything yet. But the kind of response that we're getting from the community is like wild. I'm like, oh my gosh, like that girl tagged it too. Like it's just so awesome.
Absolutely. No, it feels like it's also the same thing like we are doing here at the Online Cam Summit. You know, it's about giving back and learning and have a good experience and share some knowledge here, right? So
and that's why I wanted to do the Online Cam Summit. Whenever I first heard about it, it really caught my attention, because I was like, it's online only. And that like falls into our community as well. What we do for work is online only, is on our phone only, or you know what I mean? Like, yes, attending expos and stuff, but for the girls that privacy is an issue, or they are not looking to, like, this is a side hustle. They have this material and these forums that they can go to and learn from. So I think it's overall just a positive thing.
No, absolutely. Thank you for that. So you are camming, right? You are Snapchatting, you are social media feed, like that's always up to date. How important is social media for you? And what would you say, how much time do you put into all of this?
So social media is a really big deal to me. I think it's a big deal overall, like globally.
It should be.
The internet is just so crazy. But I guess for camming purposes, like I've just felt like it's helped not just retain my fan base that I had, because I kind of joined a little bit, I don't know, it was like a year into my career or something. And wow, like it's mind blowing, like how the internet and how social media, specifically Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and I know some people use Facebook, and it just depends, because everybody has their different knack, and they can choose which ones they're best at or that they like more. Even like, I mean, I guess how I find time to be on social media, which is like almost always, I have my phone with me a lot, unless like I set some time aside, like, okay, I'm taking a day off or something from camming, I'll be on my phone or whatever, and people know how to reach me there. But that you can like intermingle, like cross all of these things together, have your own website so that people can find it all on every social media outlet that you have, which I would recommend get those ats, like, and try to make them all this, like put them on your website and promote your website. Like having your own website is a very important thing, and you can utilize social media to grow your fan base, make it bigger. It really
Absolutely. But it's like marketing yourself. Right? I mean, in the end, you are kind of a product in here. I mean, this is what you're doing. You're selling your time for money, and that's how we all do. So reaching new potential ones, you know, and if somebody's searching, you know that you own that traffic as well. It's you.
Even going back to that, they're searching, and even with social media, it would help if you're looking to be branding or be some kind of something with a company, like that you're also representing them. It's not just you're representing, it's the company as well. And using social media to utilize that whole big community and world to be exposed to you and your branding, your brand, your Live for Free and Pornhub. And
So with your advice then, I mean, how much time do you dedicate to every social platform? I'm meant to be up to date. Like,
I would say like it's like a 24-hour job, or like not that I'm on it 24 hours all the time, but every single day I look at my social media. I post, I mean, every other day. Sometimes there's days where I post more, and sometimes when I'm traveling or away from home, I post a little less, but I do find time to keep people updated, because they are interested in this lifestyle. They're interested in learning. They're interested in just, I guess, as a fan, like staying with their friend, their favorite performer.
Would you say, do you have like a content calendar? Do you have like, okay, every Monday I'm doing this, every Tuesday I'm doing this?
Let me show you.
Let me
see.
show
you my calendar. So I have a planner. And this is
Okay.
just October. It's a little bit bare now because I'm barely starting that, but let me
Yeah.
show you. These are
So
the
this is where you're putting in all your ideas, like when you're
January,
right. Awesome.
February. Like there's like all sorts of like, like
Yeah.
you have to set a, however you do your schedule. Like everyone's so different, but it definitely helps. Like I don't necessarily say, okay, like for example, for a post, but it's a post of mine that I'm like, okay, it's going to be my self-promotion post. And I want to spend some time making it look nice. I could spend like 30 minutes. I could spend hours even, like just going back to it so that I can post it later at a certain time where I think that there's going to be more traffic, or you can look at your analytics on Instagram and Twitter and kind of gauge, okay, this is where most of my audience is. The times, I mean, there's so much you can utilize to figure out yourself what is the best, because there's some people that are shitty. Like, I mean, like they're bad at social media, or they can, let's just say they can up their social media game. And
there's a lot of opportunities for sure.
I limit what I do post on social media and stuff because the criteria and stuff have gotten so much stricter. So you have to market yourself smartly, and not only just because you don't want to get flagged or anything, but because you want to monetize off of it this in the smartest way that you can. So it would be beneficial for you to do it smartly and not get flagged.
Absolutely. I would say you had a great year. We talked about this. You had a great year in 2018, with a lot of traveling and a lot of shows and everything. How important do you think that it is for independent models to go to these kinds of trade shows that you have been participating this year?
If you want to pursue and continue growing your brand with camming, especially with camming right now. No, even porn stars or the porn industry, I would say extremely important for myself. It's very important because that's where you get to hear firsthand from these people that are the best of their industry. They have, whether it's reputation, whether their company is just like amazing, whether they make a lot of money, that they're doing something right, it would be important to attend things like this so that you can go and see for yourself firsthand, okay, what is going to be the best company or tactics that I can learn from. I guess
it depends for everyone. I mean, because like for you have been to now Romania and to Prague and a couple of other places. But I mean, just to meet other models from other places in the world, to see how are you guys working and get a friendship over there, because there's different ways and different methods that everybody is using. So maybe you pick up some ideas at the same time, right?
Yes. And you know what? You saying that though, just even like made me realize like, maybe it is important because like, it's so isolating and so like, you're always at home, whatever. Getting out and being able to do that is just so in itself, like, yes, it's a little scary at first. Like I remember being nervous, meeting the team or Flirt for Free for the first time. And once you do it, like it makes it very liberating.
So, and then of course you need to look into what kind of shows they are, because there is so many. And I think like you have been to a couple of ones that probably didn't have nothing to do with camps at all, but still it was like a fun little thing and you get some information. But I mean, the more cam related ones, I guess, is the one that you should try to hit on. And there's a bunch in the States, and there's a couple of one in Europe, and a couple of good ones in Colombia, I believe. So
yeah, the ones in Colombia I really love. I have fun there. I do a lot of panels there. When I think I decided what my favorite Euro Summit was, and I think I definitely had I just had AW Summit. Like there's just something about it that I was like, wow, I really loved the show, the seminars, the parties. It was just like overall such a great experience. Like it is once you learn, and sometimes like you might go to the wrong show, or I don't even want to say that.
It's not the wrong show.
If you try, like you could learn something from every show, but like ones where you're like, yeah, that's a little more specific. You're not going to waste your time if you already kind of know what direction you're going in, or
because we have 20 shows a year, so you don't need to go to every one of them. Then you don't have time to cam at all. So
exactly.
I think from all of your panels and everything, and I'm following you for a while here. I mean, you're known for speaking your mind all the time. I mean, there is no filter sometimes. But what do you feel about the cam industry? Like, does it lack, and what has it too much of right now?
I love the cam industry, and that's why I always want to speak my mind, and like actually I try to be transparent with what I'm really thinking. But what the cam industry really lacks right now is support from an adult industry that is so used to it being a certain way, and the way that it's changing now that they're having to adapt to now performers, because we are attending these expos now. We are getting the kind of information that, as far as support goes, we need these companies to really understand that we're coming out of these closets, because it's becoming more, I don't want to say normalized, because there's still a lot of humanization that needs to be done within adult and camming. Definitely building a stronger community, a stronger positive community within all different types of, and different types of companies, and even the same kinds of companies working together to create a better environment for everybody.
Do you have anything that you think that the cam industry has too much of right now?
Too much of? I don't think so.
It could always be more.
Actually, let me go back. I do know there's so much patriarchy here in these. It's so crazy to see, like, and whenever I'm able to find a woman that's very strong, your friend Andra, right? She is like, okay, when I first met her, very nice and everything, and then we were on a seminar together, or on a panel together, and I was like, I take a little bit to read people and stuff, and after maybe it was like 2 days, I'd say, and I'd be like, I really fucking like her. Like, she's somebody that definitely speaks her mind in a world where it's dominated by males. And men need to realize, especially these men that have power to change things within this industry, that we're coming for them, and they need to open up their minds and listen to our ideas on an equal kind of level. And I know it's hard because they need to break out of these little things sometimes, but it takes strong women to do that. And then, the power that strong women can really. So I mean, that's something that I think that.
No, absolutely. What would you say then in the end? We're gonna end this because we're taking a lot of your time right here. But what keeps you going? And what would you say to a cam model that lacks a little bit of motivation, because not every day is roses and butterflies,
What my drive is, I mean, it's changed throughout the years, because what kept me going at one point, which was like, I have to provide this, I have to be able to do this so that, whatever situations I was in, or for my family, or for, these situations, it's changed. Sometimes it's like, okay, when I'm doing very well and I'm like, all right, I'm on a good, it's a little harder to find something to keep me motivated.
Yeah. If you have everything you need,
Yeah. So it's like, it's a matter of like, okay, I wouldn't say status, but because once you get to a certain point, it's like not even maintaining, it's having that, I don't know, that feeling of like, I want to do better. I want to continue. If you want to continue, and because sometimes you have to switch things up, and when you're in live chat on live cam, if it's a slow ass day, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have worn pajamas today, or maybe I should just relax and not be so mad today. So just little things like that can, as far as drive, there's different things that have had me driven throughout the years.
If somebody lacks of motivation, I mean, come back to your drive. I mean, figure out why did you do this in the first place, and maybe keep on going there to become the best one. That is
sometimes you need a little bit of time to yourself to find your drive again, and then you're back. and better.
Stay hungry, right? That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Stay hungry.
You know what? I'll eat on cam. I'll be like, oh, you want to take private and have dinner with me? All right. That'll drive me to get online all the time.
Right? Perfect. Romantic dinner for two. Perfect plan. Oh my God. Lindsey, I had so much fun talking to you. We have learned so much. I want to thank you for being part of this edition of the Online Cam Summit.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy that you asked me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Today's sponsor is StripChat. StripChat is one of the fastest growing cam platforms in our industry. It's a freemium platform that offers up to 60% revenue share. If you sign up to StripChat today, you're offered a 14-day promo boost on their platform. And to top it off, StripChat is giving away $16,000 in contest money every month. StripChat is a platform that fits girls, men, trans, and couples. And don't forget to check out the digital goodie bag for a special offer from StripChat. Thank you again, StripChat, for sponsoring this day. And thank you for watching.